Welcome back, everybody, to the Pittsburgh Pirates franchise, and we are ready for season number 3. So the question is, how do we back up last season, a season that was unbelievable, somehow made the playoffs in the final month, got to the NLCS, just a few games away from a World Series appearance, and now we got to back that up. So now the expectations are there, and we're going to have a few battles here in spring training. So it's all going to be about pretty much the right field position. J.J. Bleday, we got him in a trade from Oakland. And when he came over here, he performed really well. 8 home runs, 30 RBI, hit around 274 at 381 on base, OPS of 823. I mean, he looked really good and was primed for a very good season in 2024. And then at this time last year, it was over. Tore his ACL, missed the entire season. Now, Ji-Hwan Bae last year hit 305, number 3 in the NL. So his spot should be secure right there now in left field. So I think he should be good, and obviously he can pretty much play any other position you want him to except really catcher. I mean, if you wanted to put him at first base, go right ahead. He had a fantastic season. So I think his spot is secure there in left. So it's all about right field. We have plenty of guys to battle here. Some young guys trying to make the team. And even if they don't get the starter spot, they can definitely still be on the bench. Sawinski, you got Matt Frazier, Andy Rodriguez, obviously a catcher, but he can play the outfield. Mark Tejada, our second-round draft pick a few years ago, looking fantastic. He's only 19 years old. And Drew Gilbert, who we got in that Brian Reynolds trade from Houston. And right now, that trade's actually looking good. We got Joe Perez right above him. He was over in that trade, and obviously we got Hunter Brown as well. And then Nick Gonzalez, a guy that was a number 1 draft pick, trying to make this team, trying to make the big league team for good. It's just tough with the positions in the infield because the infield is absolutely stacked. Liover Peguero, chance to make this team maybe in a bench position. Probably going to have 4 bench guys. Obviously right now, Connor Joe, a guy that dominated in the postseason, and Jace Peterson we brought over in free agency, a utility guy, and he can do a lot of good stuff. So as for the rotation, though, right now we'll put in Quinn. This is not going to be obviously the rotation because you do not see Michael Wacha, but I want to get these guys going here in the spring. Contreras, Priester, Mitch Keller, Kyle Nicholas, Hunter Brown. Who are going to be those 4 and 5 guys? Right now it's going to be Keller and Brown, I would say, unless something happens here in the spring. I want to see what Priester does. But let's get this action going here in the spring. We're going to go through a few games. So we'll take on this first game, see some Pablo Lopez action coming over from Minnesota. And taking on the number 1 prospect in baseball right now, Jackson Holliday for this Orioles team. And 2-2 count to him. And that's going to be up the middle. Cruz over. He's got it. And that will be an out. Obviously, yeah, Holliday is ranked 1. I looked at the top 50 on their list here, and he was number 1. I believe Drew Jones was number 2 in Arizona. But there's a nice inning for Lopez. Gets Cedric Mullins. And let's go to the bottom half of the first. Wyatt Freehan, a guy that was having a fantastic postseason. And really, you could say changed the lineup once he got hurt there. And we missed the final few games. But hopefully a full season he'll have. And we'll love to see what he can do. The power he brings as he's going to ground this one out. Nothing there for us in the first. And obviously when you get to the spring, it's not always about the numbers. You just kind of want quality at bats. As Henry Davis is going to hit this one down the line. So here's another guy. First full season. He's going to have a whole season here to see what he's got. He kind of struggled a little bit when he came up. But you tell you what, he really just played well and played as well up the lineup in postseason play. So hopefully that is going to be some good things to come as here comes J.J. Bleday to the plate. He is ready to go. Missing a whole entire season. Would have had the starting spot. Trying to make sure he can secure it. As this one's hit, got it up with it and an out there as he moves up to second base. So ground out there for Bleday, but I'm sure he's just really happy just to be on the field. Be healthy. That's exactly what you want. I think he makes the team regardless. It's just the question, is he going to be the starting right fielder? As here comes Matt Frazier. This is a guy I've been hoping for to just step up, play well, make this team And he's played well in Double A. You get him up to Triple A, and he just seems to struggle a little bit. So hopefully he has a really good spring here. As Grayson Rodriguez bringing the triple-digit fastball there, flied out to left, and it is caught. So nothing there for Frazier. And let's go to the bottom half of the third. And here's a newly acquired player, a guy that knows this Orioles team very well. Trey Mancini coming over, probably going to be our starting first baseman. Can field, hit really well last year, 23 home runs. As he rips this one up the middle for a base hit. So he's still got a lot left in the tank, obviously only on a one-year deal. And hey, you never know. If things go bad for us, he could be a trade target. 2-1 count there to Zamar Johnson, and Johnson's going to rip this one, and that's going to get down for extra bases. Mancini on his way to third. He's going to make the way to home plate. Will he be in there? And he is just in there for the run. Zamar Johnson, last year's NL Rookie of the Year. And we'll see what he does here in his second year. Hopefully some good things to come. As O'Neal Cruz rips this one, that one's going to be in the gap. Johnson scores easily. Cruz on his way to second base, and he's going to third, using the speed, and he's in there with a triple. And O'Neal Cruz now secured under his new contract, so you know he'll be here at least for the next 5 years. So that is awesome to see. As Wyatt Freehand hits this one deep into left field, and it's going to get out of here. And that is the power. Any side of the field, it does not matter. This guy can absolutely crush the ball. Hits this one out of here when looked like it might just be a little bit of a lazy fly ball. But nope. Off his bat, it's power all day. And Freehand hits this one deep. Look at the size difference with O'Neal Cruz. That is crazy to see. But Wyatt Freehand, I always like estimations. Maybe 35, 40 home runs with his power. That'd be great to see. And here comes Alex Reyes. We'll see if some of these bullpen guys here in this first game, obviously. Lopez only going a few innings. And Alex Reyes, Rule 5 draft pick. I think he all makes his team. And there you go, strike 3. So a really good 5th inning for Reyes. Yeah, I think a lot of the bullpen guys they'll easily make the team. I'm fine keeping a lot of guys out there in the pen for sure. So let's go to the 5th. Nick Gonzalez, here you go. If you remember, you've seen this from the start. We gave him a shot early on in this franchise. It did not go well at all. Could not get anything with him. Goes down to AAA, hits very well. He got another bit of a shot, but didn't go well either. So I am hoping that this is third time's a charm, and he will do well. As here comes Pagarity, rips this one to third base, but it is caught. So yeah, Nick Gonzalez, I'm really hoping this is a good spring for him, and it's going to make the team. Will he make some starts? So that's the thing you got to think about. Some of these guys, do you kind of keep down in AAA to get, quality at bats? Because when you got, second base filled with Tamar Johnson, Cruz at shortstop, third base Brian Hayes, unless one of those guys goes down, there's just no room. As Sir Anthony Dominguez with a nice K there on Gunnar Henderson, you're just not going to get a lot of time. And then Wyatt Freehand's going to be your DH. He's going to be in there pretty much most of the time. So that's the real question with some of these guys. And I love to make them a team, but I just don't want them, rotting on the bench. As here comes Endy Rodriguez, another guy that could possibly make this team as a backup catcher and maybe a starting right fielder. We'll see. Another guy, just so much potential, and I want him up here, obviously, but obviously don't want to rush it. If he's not performing well, he's going to strike out there. So nothing there for Rodriguez. As here comes Blade for his third at bat so far, 0 for 2. Trying to keep him in the game, and he's going to swing through that fastball for strike 3. So not a good debut game back, but that's okay. Plenty of time here in spring to get, everything back and going. As here comes another free agent pickup, Jonathan Loizaga, trying to really make sure that bullpen is good to go for this year. 1-2 pitch here to Austin Hayes. He'll take the slurve outside, or is it called a sweeper? I don't know. What is up with that pitch? I know it's a little bit different of a grip, but as like the big thing now, the sweeper pitch. I don't know. It's definitely interesting for sure. I still don't understand if it's close to a slurve. I mean, it's really close slurve. I mean, what else are you going to really call it? As Matt Frazier, base hit up the middle. That's good to see as he gets on base here to start off this 7th inning. We got that 4-0 lead. And here comes Drew Gilbert, another guy. Chance to make the team. Came over from the trade from Houston. And last year in AAA, he played very, very well. And he has a real shot. Excellent fielder. He's got a really good bat. He just obviously, he's got some really good speed. Not going to give you too much power, but the fielding alone and just the quality hitter he is gives him a really good chance to make this team. He hits a base hit here, and here comes Nick Gonzalez, who walked in his first at bat, trying to do some damage here with 1 away here in the 7th inning. Pitch from Zimmerman, and that one is hit well. Left that one over the middle of the plate just a little bit late on that curve, and hits it to the wall, but that'll be enough to get the run in, and there you go. 5-0 lead here in this game. Obviously, wins and losses don't really matter in spring training. Just want to see some quality stuff. So Gonzalez a little late, obviously, on that one, but gets the run in. Let's go to the 8th inning. Loizica dominating still as J.D. Martinez, a free agent pickup for this Orioles team, strikes out. So is this guy, Max Kepler. Another free agent pickup for the Orioles. 2-1 count. And Kepler is going to absolutely get a hold of this one. Frazier can just stand there and look up because this one is out of here. As they will finally get on the board 418 feet later. And Kepler, good debut for him for this Orioles squad as Loizica lets that one up. Hopefully can bounce back here, but that's going to be up the middle. It is stopped by Gonzalez. So running into a bit of trouble here in this 8th inning is Loizica. Home run. 2 guys get on, so we'll go to Scott Barlow, who comes over, had a fantastic season last year. Just hoping this bullpen. It's so interesting with bullpen arms from year to year. You could have, right now, I think we have a quality bullpen. But you never know. Guys just can underperform year to year. It is crazy how bullpens are. It's just insane. I feel like all the time you have to switch it up. Because if you leave the same bullpen from year to year, something's going to go wrong. Somebody's going to really underperform. You might have that closer that can really be that steady guy, but you got to go, 6, 7, 8 maybe to get to those guys. And some years, a guy that dominates the one year, the next year, he just falls off a cliff. And it's just so wild to see in baseball how that happens to bullpens. And guys that just you just take a chance on when they dominate. So you just never know. It's Eddie Rodriguez, 3-2 pitch. He's going to ground ball. This one is going to be a 6-4-3 double play. So nothing there. Now 2 away here in this 8th. Here comes Matt Frazier. A couple of guys on, though. See what kind of damage he can do. Obviously, he had the single earlier, 1 for 3. We're going to try to give these guys as many as the bats as they can get. As this one flying in the center, it's hit well. I mean, the timing is there. Decent contact. Just not enough. And that's going to be it there for the 8th. Let's go to the 9th inning as Scott Barlow still in this game. As here is J.D. Martinez with a guy on. And hung that one up a little bit as Martinez is going to rip that one. But that one's going to go foul. So 2-2 pitch. Didn't miss that one. That one hung up right in a wheelhouse. And J.D. takes this one yard. 2-run shot for J.D. Martinez and gets this game back to a 5-3 game, 2-run game. But we can get out of it here as kind of gets lucky on that 3-2 pitch to get a called strike 3. So it is a victory here in game number 1 of the spring. And you know what? Wasn't a whole lot, really. We saw some stuff with Wyatt Freehan. You know what he can do with the power. But really, I mean, the guys we wanted to see some stuff from didn't do a whole lot. Lopez, nice job, 2 innings, 2 runs. Loizica and Barlow did kind of struggle. But you know what? Let's get into a game with Endy Rodriguez. It's one of those guys I'm very interested in. Him and Drew Gilbert, I would say, for me, are the guys I want to, see make this team. I mean, obviously Nick Gonzalez, but I'm talking about the outfield. These are 2 guys I want to see. And Andy Rodriguez, I'm hoping, can perform well. But right now, he's struggling with that bat, that's for sure. 1-2 pitch facing Garrett Cole. Hits this one well, deep into center field. But it's going to run out of gas and caught there in center. Yeah, Rodriguez, such a talent, switch hitter, catcher, can play, the outfield. He's really unbelievable what he can do. But, if you don't perform, you're not going to be making the team. As that one is hit well, too. Into left, deep into left, but it's caught. So, a couple solid at-bats. It's just, that's baseball for you. Doesn't matter if you hit it well. Somebody might find it and bring it down. Hopefully you can get a nice at-bat here, get a hit on the board, get some confidence rolling. Because, yeah, if you hit that ball well, obviously you're swinging the bat well. But it still wears on you. You just feel like you're so unlucky. Not this time, though. Easy pop-up there in the left field, and nothing there for Andy Rodriguez. 0 for 3 so far. And then he'll be taken out of the game. So an 0 for 3 there in that game. Didn't see anything there. That's not what I want to see. And you know what? I think I'd like to get into a game with Quinn Priester, too. I think that's what we'll do. Get into a game with him, because obviously I want to see what he's got. Looks like he got rocked in that game against the Orioles as we continue to sim through here. And you know what? Contreras as well. I think we got to see a game with Rosie Contreras. We got to see what these guys do. But let's get into a game, actually, before we do that, with Mark Tejada. Second-round draft pick, our first ever draft a couple years ago. And he's just a fantastic hitter. You can see what he does. He's a great fielder. Really just, it was a great draft pick. It really was. And he's just hit the ball so well. Started him off in AAA the entire year last year. And he performed. And that's why he's getting the shot. Obviously only 19 years old. So maybe he's still a year away. Maybe, we just let him sit in AAA once again. Just get, more at-bats down there. And then maybe next year he is ready, or near the end of the year, kind of like what we did last year. Bring guys up September. But another talent on this team. I feel like we got a lot of guys. I'm just waiting for one of them to step up. Yes, Tejada hits this one decently, but it's going to be caught. But yeah, that's the real key. You can have 5 guys like we have here, a chance to make this team. But somebody's got to step up. Somebody's got to step up, take that position for themselves. And right now, I would say through the spring, I have yet to see it. So we're going to have some tough decisions here at the end. But Quinn Priester, you can see so far in a couple starts, not good. 6 1/3, 12 hits. Whip over, too. He's just getting hit hard. Only 1 walk, but when you have 12 base hits, it doesn't matter how many you walk. 5 Ks. We'll try to go 3 with him here. I think regardless, let's just go 3 no matter what happens. And see if we can get a good start. Let's see if we can get a good start here in this third start for him. In his spring training here, as this one's ripped, and that's not a good start. Ripped down the line, Gilbert up with it. At least hold him over to a single, and that's Drew Gilbert. Great speed. Great fielding out there, so he can cut stuff off, keep it to a single, so at least it's not a leadoff double. The 1-2 pitch here to Abrams, and that's a nice pitch inside for strike 3. He has a very good fastball, good curveball, and obviously just has to work on that changeup. You need that third pitch. It's kind of like the draft pick last year, guy now in the rotation, Pablo Santana. If you can have 2 quality pitches, and really a lot of the times, a lot of starts get away with it. If you just go 2 pitches, you really can. As that is a great throw from Andy Rodriguez to get out of the first. But yeah, but then you come across quality lineups, and you need that third pitch. And especially when you get into even middle of the road lineups, and you get that second time through the order. Unless your location is absolutely on the money, and you're locating a fastball and a changeup, and he's got about a 95 to 98 mile an hour fastball. You're locating that, and then you're locating maybe a curveball, 2 pitches, your best 2. You can dominate. You really can. But to get deeper into games facing against quality lineups, you just need that third pitch. As a ground ball, Marcano up with it over to first. Nice job, nice play. There you go. So Nice couple of innings here so far for Quinn Priester. Good to see. Start off this third inning, 3-1 count. That one is fouled away. 3-2. Let's see if we can get a K here. And that's a high fastball, not even close. So ball 4, you can see he's just a little bit off. And obviously, nerves are there. So just maybe throwing a little too hard. Another 3-2 count. That's going to be a foul ball there. But good location there on the two-seamer. 3-2 once again. And this one is flied into right. Sawinski's going to be underneath of it. And he has got it there for the out. So one away here in this third inning. You can see count's getting a little deeper here. This one's popped up. That's what you want to see. A nice little quick out as Rodriguez has got that. So there you go. Good third inning for Priester. Actually looks pretty good. Solid start. As this game would be kind of nuts. We go into the 12th inning. Nobody could do anything. So finally in the 12th, Drew Gilbert's going to rip that one into right field for a base hit. But we're going to hold the man up there at third with one away. Did play this game. This game just, there's opportunities, just could not come away with anything, really, either team. As now it's up to Mark Tejada as he'll take the ball up high. As I don't know how the catcher actually came down with that one. Surprised it didn't go over his head. Just do not hit into a double play here. Just give me something. 1 for 4 so far in this game is Tejada. And they're going to pitch out. Maybe looking for a safety squeeze there. Maybe even, I guess, a stolen base from Gilbert. As this one hit well into left field. That should get the job done. As he will slide home safe at the plate. And that is a victory here in the 12th inning, which I'm not sure how long they let games go even more in the spring. At some point they just go, it's done, it's over. We don't have any more players anymore. But Priester, 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, did have the 1 walk, 4 Ks. He's got some solid stuff. I don't think he's going to make the team out of spring, but he's right there. If any problem happens to anybody we have down there, if Brown doesn't perform, Keller doesn't perform, Contreras, if those guys really struggle, I think he's right there. So we reached the end of spring. Blade actually led us in runs. That's good to see. He had 24 hits. Freehan, 6 home runs, so leads us in the home run department with Tamar Johnson with 4 and Cruz 4. I think that's probably how it's going to end up for the rest of the season, I think for sure. Gilbert with a couple of home runs. He had 295. Johnson led us with RBIs with 14. Blade had 9. So J.J. Blade, you can see as we got the rest of the spring. Leover Peguero hit 313. Marcano actually hit 308. Gonzalez hit 308. That is awesome to see. Drew Gilbert hit 295 with a 348 on base. Blade hit 282, 380 on base. Tejada 273 with a 359 on base percentage. Sawinski, the on base, you got to be over 300. The rest of some of these guys, Peterson actually struggled. On base is still 352. Perez really struggled. Frazier struggled at 167. I know the at-bats are limited. I understand. Rodriguez with a 111 average in 63 at-bats. Not what you want to see. OPS, Nick Gonzalez right there at number 2. So you know what? I know, it's only 26 at-bats, but at least he performed in those bats. But right now I'm saying that Nick Gonzalez has definitely made this team. I don't see how we can send him down. He's got to be up. Blade did lead us in strikeouts. He had 85 at-bats and struck out 20 times. That's not a very good strikeout ratio, that's for sure. Strikeout percentage. Yeah, the WAR's down to -2. Gilbert right there. Davis, Johnson, Tejada. Man, I would love to keep up Mark Tejada. I would. I think I just wanted to see what he could do. I think we're going to send him down, but man, he's right on the cusp. He's only 19, but he's right there. Brown, man, 8.874 with a whip over 2. That's not what you want to see. 22 and 2/3 innings pitching and walked 15 guys. Yeah, that's no good. Contreras actually performed well, but still, that's a lot of walks, man. 23 innings pitched, 9 walks. I do not want to see that. Priester ended up with 6.05 ERA. 1.66 whip, 0-2. Keller, 8.5. That's not what I want to see. I know I was saying spring training stats don't really matter too much because a lot of times you work on pitches, but man, I don't want to see that. Pablo Santana allowed 9 home runs in 27 and 2/3 innings. No, I don't want to see that at all. Man, a lot of struggles here for the pitching. Not good. Nichols didn't perform that badly. A 7.71 FIP. Oh, that is no good. No good at all. Priester 5.12. Loaiza, Reyes. I mean, at least some of the bullpen arms perform very well. So now we got to make some moves to get down to 26. We got to put 14 guys down. And obviously Quinn Priester is going to be number 1. Just AAA. But you know what? He's the next in line, I would say. Unless somebody else steps up. And I think Nichols as well. Yeah, we'll see what, Bubba Chandler can do. Solamento. I think we'll send Ortiz. Yeah, send him down to AAA. He could be more of a bullpen arm. We'll see what happens. So right now, I'm trying to figure this out. We'll figure out how the roster works. Peralta, he's the only lefty we got in the bullpen. We have to have a lefty. You got to. You can't just, send him down because we have a lot of pitchers here. So, I don't know. I have to figure something out. We'll see how many guys we ended up with because you can only, have a max of 14 pitchers on the roster. You're going to run out of spaces. Catcher, Davis obviously will make it. And Andy Rodriguez, he will go down to AAA. That was unfortunate. I was hoping he was going to have a really good spring and make this team. But he will not. He would head down to AAA. Yasmani Grandal will be the backup. Davis will be your starter catcher, which Rodriguez wouldn't be really the starter anyway. He more than likely would have been a backup, but maybe a starting right fielder, and then occasionally backup catcher. Just making some other moves there. First base, Freehan, obviously your starter. Mancini's going to be a starter as well. Connor Joe didn't perform very well in spring, but he's on the team. Johnson, the postseason got his roster spot. Castro, I think we're going to send down. Didn't get too much of an opportunity, only 6 at-bats. Gonzalez, I think we're keeping him. I think this is a chance for him. I think we can get him on against maybe in a lefty lineup, maybe. I think that's a good opportunity. Marcano played 13 at-bats, 308. He's got very good fielding. I just don't think we're in room. Now, I'm going to send him down to AA so he gets, quality playing time. I think that's why. Hayes, obviously, the starter. Jace Peterson, free agent signing. We'll send Perez down. Anybody else here? Obviously, a lot of this draft picks we'll see in the regular season. Peguero, man, it's tough to send him down, too. It really is. Jack Sawinski. Jiwon Bay did not hit very well, but obviously he'll be the starter. Gilbert, I think, makes the team. Tejada we have to send down. Tejada we're going to send down. Frazier, we'll send him down to AA to make sure he does get his at-bats. But I think Gilbert's on the team. I think Drew Gilbert makes the team. I think the same thing. We can kind of get him in a decent amount of games. And the way Blade hit, I think he's on the team as well. Smith and Jigba, we're going to send down to AAA. So we need still, 4 more guys here to send down? We're going to have to make some tough roster decisions here. Yeah, Blade has earned the spot. Gilbert, I think he earned it. I mean, 83 fielding. I think he's good enough. Speed and fielding alone. You know what? I think Jack Sawinski is the guy we may send down here. I think we send him down to AAA. We'll send down Sawinski. He goes down. So that leaves us with, 3 more spots here. Unfortunately, I would love to keep Peguero on. But you just run out of roster spots. And now, this is where we're at here with relief pitcher. What do we do? Peralta did not pitch well in spring. A 1.93 whip. Like I said, it's a small sample. I understand. But still, you still want to see. You don't want to see 5 walks and 4 2/3 innings pitched. So this is what we're going to do. I looked around. I want a lefty reliever. We're looking at Brock Burke. He was actually the closer for Texas last year, which is crazy to think. But he's 28 years old. Solid lefty reliever. So we're going to give him Trevor Rosenthal and then a prospect, Brennan Malone. We'll throw in a prospect and they get another reliever in return. Trevor Rosenthal pitched really well last year. So it's kind of swap, but then you give him a prospect. So that's going to actually free up a spot. And now we can put Peralta down. So we can do that. So now that saved at least one spot. And now we only have one other guy to send down. And unfortunately, it's going to be Jace Peterson. I'd rather have Nick Gonzalez up here and Connor Joe. I know Peterson, we brought him in because he can play pretty much any position. But right now, send him down to AAA. Well, you never know what's going to happen the first month. That's obviously, once we get past opening day and stuff like that, you know, you go through the first month. And then maybe he's just dominating, guys are struggling. We'll make some moves there. But here's your lineup. Johnson, Cruz, Freehan, Davis, Bader, Hayes, Blade, G1 Bay, and then Trey Mancini rounds us off there against righties. Yeah. We got Grandel, Joe Gilbert, and Gonzalez on the bench there. So lefties, though, I think we're going to change up the lineup just a little bit. Johnson, Cruz, Freehan, obviously, and Davis. No big deal. Bader, Hayes. We'll move Mancini up to 7. And right now, I'm thinking maybe put Gilbert in there. I think we put Gilbert right there. I know it's lefty, but he still has 63 contact against lefty. And then you have G1 Bay in left, and then Nick Gonzalez will be the DH. So Freehan will play first. And I know the fielding with 38 is just plain awful. But that gets Nick Gonzalez some at-bats. That's good to see. He gets out there. He can hit lefties like decently, but he does hit righties a little bit better. Interesting. But yeah, that'll be your lefty lineup, and obviously probably not as prevalent. But righties, there you go. And now our rotation, Pablo Lopez. We got Waka, Pablo Santana at 3. We're going to have Contreras at 4 and Keller at 5 with Brown in the long relief. But these guys are intermixable. You know, it is what it is. I might switch up some starts. Loaiza, Dominguez, Cano, Burke, Barlow, Reyes, and Bednar at the closer spot. So our bullpen looks solid. It's just what do we get in the 4th and 5th spot in the rotation. And that'll do the spring training. And we got opening day coming up against the Cubs. Pablo Lopez will be on the mound, getting ready for season number 3. And hopefully this is the year we can win the division, get back to the playoffs, and make another run at that World Series. But that's going to do it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for all the support. I appreciate it. Hit that like button. Subscribe for more. And I will see you in the next one. You guys have a good one. Bye-bye.